see if we I think we're live now. Let's see. Yes, sir. So, man, everybody, yeah, thanks everybody out there for joining. Everybody's it's a Monday afternoon or evening. Some of us is on the West Coast, some of us is on the East Coast, and we've had a down day in the market. So I thought it'd be a good time for us to hop on a live. And this call is normally given by Mr. Mo and Deshaun. And well, here, I'll let you guys introduce yourself. They're traders, and normally on Monday night we have a trading call on psychology, the psychology of trading. And this is something that affects everyone, no matter if they trade crypto, forex, options. If you're a trader, there's a part of the human element that's the psychology, and I think it's important that we kind of revisit that. Based on anxiety, psychology, the family, tired. When you're trading, you have all these different emotions, and everyone on this call has probably been through something, and I think it's good for us to kind of share our experiences. And I'm not going to take over this call. This is a call for all of us to kind of, share what we can and give value to other guys. And I'm so happy that everybody was able to join.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us, man. I'm happy to have a team all together for a call.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you had us on your call.
Right.
Yeah, well, typically we go over just the mindset, and we go over the morning formula that you helped us put together. So often, or every week that we've been having these calls on Monday, what we typically do is just review a morning formula, go over our affirmations, principles, and goals, and share those with everyone who tunes in. This week, I asked if we could do a little something different. I wanted to have the team on so that folks could see that it's not just one person that makes the magic happen or gathers the information to distribute and helps to distribute it out. So thank you for joining us. Today, I just wanted to, have a casual conversation as opposed to reviewing the mindset formula and beating people over the head with it. Wanted to open it up a little bit and have a casual conversation as I think some major things have happened today in the market. And I just wanted to get the team's feedback on that. Like today was the first day for BOCT to roll out. And although they've been taking deposits for a while, today was the first day that it was opened up to the public. So I want to know what you guys thought about that. Were you guys as excited as I am?
Well, I think it's great. I mean, I'm gonna let everyone else go, but I mean, I think it's great that we got to experience this all together as one big family, because in general, everyone thought the market was going to shoot up today. Yeah. And that was kind of everybody's expectation, is that when BOCT went live, all this institutional money was going to come in, and that was a bias that I had. I don't know if other people had, but I was expecting a little bit more. We didn't know what was going to happen though, because historically we know we had Monday and Tuesday was going to be a down day. Right. And so the psychology and the mindset is, when you have a bias, you have to recognize it. And I think we recognize as a group that, all right, well, BOCT is released and there's no fireworks. And for others, that caused them to kind of sell off. And for me, it's kind of like, all right, well, we kind of expected it to be down, but we was hopeful. And I think that's a lot of things that traders experience, is they experience the hope. We fear it going down, and we hope it goes up. And when it doesn't, it basically creates it creates a psychology in you. It's like, all right, well, you can admit sometimes you're wrong, but sometimes you're not wrong. It's just the market. And go ahead.
I think that this is a good indicator for us as a team and for us as a group. To me, it goes hand in hand with the consistently. The group has been early. We're always early, and even with this, I think indicator that we are early because the price went down, and it's the perfect time for people to buy into Bitcoin, because it's now an official it's looked at as an official derivative. It's accepted amongst other businesses and companies that do business international. So all the people, all the naysayers that were out there are now left with nothing because it's been accepted. It's there, and they have an on-ramp platform. So I think this bodes good for us as a team, again, because we were early. Like we're early with the monthly reports, with all the advice we give, some of the monthly calls and picks. And this is us as a team being early again, ahead of the curve for everybody else trying to spread the word about Bitcoin and how it's a good asset to help distribute wealth or help people,
Right. Well, you guys, I mean, like, I don't know if you guys have it. I've been trading for a long time, and I know one of the things that, when I used to have a bad day trading, it would kind of mess up the rest of my day. I didn't want to talk to my family. I didn't want to I was like, man, I messed up, and that was the day trading like attitude. I would have, internally, I would have like some kind of just issue because I would be thinking about it. And so even though I'd be at home, I would be thinking about the trade or, how it turned and didn't do what I wanted. And I think that is something that, image traders without a plan. And, a lot of times when I day traded, sometimes I didn't have a plan. I knew it was a news report and I knew that oil was going to, have an oil report. And I knew that it was going to be volatile, but I never pictured myself being in the wrong side of it. I never pictured that, all right, well, they're going to release this news at 10:10 or 10:15 and it's going to shoot down and I'm going to be down $2,000 or $3,000. Like, now, after a certain period of time, I know it only can go one or two ways. It only can go down. And so, when I enter in trades now, based on news, because news is something unpredictable, the chart patterns and staying volume and momentum, but the news is unpredictable and how people are going to respond to it. So when we had block, we knew it was coming out, but we also knew that, this is going to be the most unpredictable time. And so like, as a person, it's like sometimes, the feelings that we go through, you also have to write those down because guys have a different level, like my wife would know when I made money. She would be like, hey, you want to go to dinner? She would pick the best restaurant, and she was like, oh, his energy is a little bit different. Like we're gonna eat good tonight,
right.
And and so, your people around you can actually feel that. Yeah. And I think, the good thing about a group is people can actually feel your energy when if I get on and if I'm down, Nick is down or Devin is down, like our actually energy comes into our trading. And, when I take calls with people, I can actually see their energy. I can automatically hear that they've been, mentally beating up themselves and beating up themselves and it, man, maybe they're doubting themselves. And so, this is a normal part of trading that, going through by yourself, I think it's difficult. I think
having a team definitely helps ease the pain.
Huh?
Having a team definitely helps ease the pain. It's nice to have one or two members, not just the team, but having a group. It's nice to have group members. They're trading around the clock, and they're looking at different things and help to provide a different angle. You know what I mean? Or when you like now when Litecoin went down today, it's nice to know that it's not just us that are, we're not the only ones in this position. Like we took a position in Litecoin and the market's going to bounce back. So
yeah, but you got to think about if it went up $8 instead of going down $8, will we still have sold? And so like when you're in a swing trade, and sometimes when you think about that, he's like, well, like if it would have went up $5, would you have sold right now? Most times, people had a different target anyways, and they're not gonna sell. So just because it goes down, it's like, well, go join your night because like, why look at it? Staring at it is not gonna change. And like, are you gonna sell when you're down, or you're gonna see how far it's gonna go down? And at the end of the day, it's like you bought it for a reason. So, the logic has to come in, and so we talk about psychology. We also got to talk about the logic part. All of us are here, and I think, the one thing that having a group, it gives you confidence that you're not the only one feeling like you're feeling. And the fear thing is, I think not being prepared. You know, if you went into a room and there was 10 people, but you had a machine gun, you'll feel a little bit more confident going in that room. But but if you didn't have
Absolutely.
anything, yeah, you know, so I think that is the one factor. Go ahead.
The tools that we have helps me feel confident, like being able to keep track of the trade in the trade journal, you know, and then being able to look at my notes when I put them in the trade journal. Like I know the date that I took the trade that I was expecting to hold it actually past this point. I had planned on holding until I believe the 28th or 29th is what I put. I watched like watched it go down today. I think it touched like 62 today. So it's not something that I'm not prepared for, because according to my plan and my strategy, I wasn't looking to exit until a couple of days from now, anyway, sometime next week actually. So I'm enjoying my night now with my team.
Cool. What's up, T. Allen? What's up, Maceo? How you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good. Yeah. I have to come around and find out where this meeting was. I went to a couple of spots. So
sorry about that.
Finally got here.
Yeah, we wanted to have a group thing tonight, so we kind of had a last minute switch where I can accommodate more people on my Zoom.
Right.
So, yeah, go ahead, Maurice. I mean, this is your call too. So.
No, everybody was giving great points. I guess, you know, for me, to pick up on a couple of you guys' points, coming from the stock market, I guess, you know, I expected Bach to do a little bit more today as well. I expected some money to flow out of the stock market and into crypto a little today, and the stock market finished flat today. But, you know, still, as we were talking about, being prepared from, you know, the monthly reports, being prepared, understanding that or expecting that today would be a down day, expecting that there are going to be opportunities coming in the next few days and the next few weeks to go long and to go short. It's definitely as far as dealing with psychology, it definitely helps for me, I guess, slow things down. Not being in such a rush to jump in or out of a trade. Not, you know, what you talk about, the monkey mind a lot. Being prepared and having the reports and everything. That's what helps me a lot, I guess. That's what I would say.
Go ahead, jump in.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was expecting the market to be down today, you know, because I looked at the report. So I actually averaged down one of my positions a little bit earlier in the day, and then Litecoin took that drop. But, you know, it didn't like freak me out because I was able to kind of just like step back and say, okay, now what do I do now that, you know, this unexpected thing happened? Rather than overreact and freak out, I was able to kind of, you know, just chat with you guys and be like, okay, so what do I do next? You know, because the mental beating yourself up, fix anything, it doesn't help you undo anything. So that's really helpful for me. And, you know, I realize more and more that I'm a much, much better swing trader than I am a day trader. I don't know why I even try, but like today with the news about Tezos, I thought maybe I would get in there and try to day trade a little bit, you know, and just as luck would have it, I don't know if there was just so much activity on Binance, but when I kept trying to pull it up, my computer was just like spinning and spinning and spinning. Like, I think there was so much maybe there was so much activity going on that my chart wouldn't even update. Like I could look at other charts, but that one was not coming up. So I feel like maybe the internet gods were intervening to save me from myself. So I wouldn't get in there. Because when I try to day trade, it's like my anxiety gets too high and I just can't, I can't make smart decisions when my emotions are in it like that,
And I think, and that's why we kind of go through that trader assessment, because, I think each person is wired different. And when you go to if you have a course or you're reading something on YouTube or you at Google University, that's one thing that you don't hear, the trader talk about. He's not gonna tell you like, hey, here I have a deep fear of this, or I get nervous and my hands start sweating, I get cold, or I'm in the middle of the trade. So for the new trader that gets in the trade and all of a sudden his hands start getting cold and he starts second guessing himself, and then he's like, I don't know if I can do this, like, because I'm having these feelings. And so, that I think that's one thing good about trading, within our group is that, these feelings are normal. If you do have anxiety, it's okay to say, hey, you know what, I got anxiety, but I still can make money trading. Or, I'm fearful, but, how do I overcome that? And, that's the power of basically most animals run in packs. And so when we're swing trading and, it's 3 or 4 of us in a trade, it's like, well, you're not alone. So how's this guy feeling? And now if we're all feeling like, hey, it's going down, now that monkey mind becomes like, well, no, it's confirmation. Like what I'm saying is real. It's going down. I need to get out, and, that is the, those building blocks that's what creates confidence. You can't buy that, but you have to have experience. And it's better to experience things as a group than experience them as an individual, because when you experience them as an individual, you never know if the feelings is real. You never know if like you're really gaining experience or knowledge. You start thinking, well, man, I made that trade, but I don't know if I want to experience that same type of feeling again. And then once you experience that feeling 3 or 4 times and you've made money, you're like, oh, you know what? This is okay. This is what I suppose, everyone feels like this, but it turns out okay for me. And I think, me being trading, I've day traded and I've also, swing traded, I've scalped, like I was doing everything. And what I noticed is that, I had a different level of stress in different type of trading. And when I made money day trading, sometimes I wanted to get back in and do it again right after I made money, because I was like, oh man, I was right. And you almost keep trading until you're wrong. And it's like, you don't want to trade till you're wrong. It's okay to stop when you're right. And swing trading gives you that ability, because you've been in the trade for 3 or 4 times, 3 or 4 days maybe, or 5 days. And you're like, hey, you know what? I've already waited enough. So I was right. It proved it. I'm taking profits, and now I can go look for the next trade. And it has a little bit better of a step process. And so, that's how I feel. When I day trade, I feel like I have to make money and it's a job. But when I swing trade, I feel like, the market wants to reward me for being patient. Like it wants me to have money because I was patient, and I don't feel like I'm, day trading. I feel like, hey, I got out just as right nick of time. Like I'm going in robbing things. I'm taking money and I'm skeeting out. When I'm swing trading, it's like, hey, you know what? It wanted to pay me. It wanted to pay me for my patience. And then you get confident. You put more and more money in, and you're not as hesitant or watching. Some guys swing trade and they're looking at it every 2 hours. And one of the things I say is like, well, if it jumped up, $2 in that 2 hours, were you prepared to get out? And they were like, well, no. I was like, so why are you watching it every 2 hours? Check on it on the days that you thought. Tiala, how you doing? This is a group call. This is everybody. I spoke to Macy.
Man, I'm doing fantastic. I was like Devin. I didn't panic on that drop today, so I was like, okay, let me just ride it.
Right. Well, one of the things about that drop, one of the things we were saying that when we were even buying it is that we weren't putting a whole account in. And so like Devin, and she had told me like, I didn't put the whole thing in. Should I buy more? And I was like, well, maybe we wait we wait until it confirms and it's going back up. You know, we don't have to like, you know, I think that's another thing new traders do is they go in with their entire account. And now they're watching that one trade every day because their entire account is in it.
Yep.
And, you know, Tizo would have been a good trade today. But to me, it was a down market, and our checklist, you know, told me not to trade. So it's, you know, it wasn't like Tizo made 20, 30%. It was just a good green trade that would have saved his money, but it wasn't like a awesome trade. You know, and tomorrow it'll probably be more awesome because it's going to be announced on Binance as a pair, right? Right. I think Binance.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow's gonna be a great day. Well, I shouldn't say that. I have a bias towards Tuesday.
You say what?
That I have a bias towards Tuesdays. I think that Tuesday, tomorrow night, the market.
Right.
I don't think the trend's gonna.
So another thing about your biases, like, you know, when you have them, like understand why you have them. Like, you know, if you go back in the whole month of September, and like this is one thing you can do. This is last week. Look at the last 3 Tuesdays and see how the market was.
Yeah.
You know, and that will give you a little bit more confidence for the 4th Tuesday. So if you look at every day of the month, and then you pick out, all right, what days were positive this month, and you just start keeping a calendar, just every month that you're trading, and put a happy face when it's good, and when it's bad, put a sad face. And you're like, you know what? There's been a bunch of sad faces on Wednesdays. I'm gonna avoid those.
Y'all be like, oh, this looks great. We got it. I'll be like, yeah, but it's Wednesday. I mean, a couple times I've dove in, and I ain't gonna lie, a couple times I did okay. But when I don't do okay on Wednesday, it always makes me feel bad. Like I just feel like I know better. Like,
Right, you know better.
Wednesdays are wild. Wednesdays are wacky, and they've been like that for a long time.
And I feel bad because I feel like sometimes I put my biases on you guys. It's almost like a kid. If you have a kid and you tell them to police bad, they don't grow up thinking the police bad. And if I grow up and I tell you, hey, Wednesdays are terrible. Wednesdays are actually a volatile day, and it's a day that people make money. But for me, I like to predict the news, and I have a bias, and I can't predict the news, so I try to avoid those. Because that's the Wednesdays, the most amount of unpredictable news come out. And for other traders, they love that. They love the excitement of catching that. For me, it's like I don't have a good attention span trade. Like I don't like trading minute to minute. When I see on TradingView,
nerves can't take it.
When I see on TradingView, they have a 2-second now, 1 second.
Yeah, 1 second, 2 second. Yeah.
Yeah, they have 2 second now on TradingView.
Yeah.
Nah.
No.
Right. So, no, but there's Forex traders out there that, man, they love the trading like, 5 seconds at a time, 10 seconds at a time. In futures, I can make $20 like, 20 times an hour because all you do is short and sell, go back and forth. And you can set, so you have, I used to rack up like maybe $200 or $300 in fees every day trading futures. It was like $2 or $3 a trade in and out. And I'll be trading every 5 minutes because every tick is $10 or $20.
Wow.
All right. So over a week, you probably have a bill like $1,300 for trading fees. Depending on what your style is,
Yeah.
Right. And that's how they make money. So that's why in futures they allow that, You can buy you can buy 5 lots, 10 or 5 contracts, 10 contracts, and you get charged per contract. Guys doing 20 contracts, paying like $40 per trade.
Wow.
While I got you going here, I want to know, can I do a little conspiracy theory with you?
Yeah.
As far as ICE and BACT is concerned, like I want Nick's input on this too.
Yeah.
Right from the group. So like I'm gonna share my screen. Let me close this. All right, cool.
I'm going to tell you, I was uncertain about today which way it was going to go. And I think it was already kind of priced in with the institutional retail money back in March, April, May.
That's why they kept delaying it. Like they wanted, well, that's part of my theory as to why they were delaying it. But anyway, so ICE owns BACT, right? So BACT was bought on by ICE, and ICE was created like in 2000. So all this stuff is new. This is my theory, right? New York Stock Exchange, everything, all the clearinghouses in America, Europe, Singapore. And then since they've been on board, they bought up petroleum, they brought up the New York Board of Trade, the Chicago Board of Trade, Canada Board of Trade, like everything is in here. So what makes people think that now that BACT is online and it's you have to have physical Bitcoin in order to trade on BACT, Bitcoin has been accepted as a world-class derivative, right? Will any of y'all disagree with that?
No,
right. Cool.
Don't disagree.
So Bitcoin is accepted as a world-class derivative right now. And we got BACT online. And the price of Bitcoin just now dropped to like $9,000 by it being, and we're seeing here, more or less to me, this shows me that all of these markets can now pour into BACT, or they're interchangeable. Like you can move one derivative to another because this one company controls all of these derivatives, right? So more or less, ICE controls is on par with the Fed. Is that what, I mean, I know I'm skipping a whole lot of layers there, but they're on par with the Fed. So as liquidity, this is my question to the team. As money or dollars come out, wouldn't ICE be able to hide that money in BACT? Wouldn't it be a way for them to more or less inflate or pump up Bitcoin?
Yeah, because I don't think so. I mean, I think what you guys, I mean, what people don't realize is Bitcoin is just one coin, but they coming out with this. Wells Fargo's testing out a virtual currency, right? A stable coin.
I should have said crypto in general as opposed to Bitcoin. I definitely should chose my words, but ICE, what ICE owning BACT, they can inflate any crypto that they want, more or less. They hold the control over the market, like, and they show it to you. It's right here.
Right. They control the U.S. market, right?
Yeah.
So China a year ago, 2 years ago, China devalued their dollar and it crashed our market. They devalued their yuan. So there's other markets that if if you're manipulating, the market, you also expose yourself. So when our market was going up, and Friday, the Chinese like, oh well, we're not coming to the forum, we're not visiting. It crashed the market just by that one event. So I think we're in a global market where I think it's in everybody's interest if they're a huge institution to kind of keep the prices down and until they figure out how they can manipulate it completely. And right now, what they're doing is manipulating people. These drops and up and down, I think, is really to manipulate the people.
Right. To get out the weak hands.
Yeah, I mean, getting out their hands and the whole. What does everyone say about crypto? You have professional traders out there that are trading Forex and trading the indexes and futures, and they saying, we don't trade crypto, it's too volatile.
Right.
And this is trading is they want volatility because that's where you make money. So
right.
But that's it. This market is still in its infancy. Then,
right.
What I mean? You have to look at it like we discussed earlier. Then $9,000 for a Bitcoin is like a nickel, a dime.
What the government is saying and what the institutions are saying is we don't have control over it yet.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. We don't have control over it yet.
Okay.
And once we get control over it, we're gonna make so much money in crypto. That's what they're saying. They're saying, hey, everyone calm down. We have to figure out how we're gonna report our taxes, how we're gonna track all the users spending it, how we're gonna charge them fees, make it available for them. But it has to be infrastructure. It comes back down to Rockefeller. Like the leaders have a thing where you don't have to own everything, you need to control it.
Yep.
And so the government and you know, and at the end of the day, what they want to control is people, their mindset. You know, 10, 20%, 30%. Just get an average person an opportunity to, I mean, if you already broke, then you don't have nothing to lose.
Right.
You know, the stock market has been super volatile. It dipped down and up the same day. It's doing that every day.
Yeah.
So Jamar, let me ask
sideways market all summer.
Yeah.
Jamar, let me ask you a question. Piggybacking on what Deshaun said. So by bot having all these agencies under it, is it possible too the bot can also play the same game that Benzo did with Amazon? He purposely lowered his items when he was getting started. He lowered his items so low where he knew he was not going to money, but it put out the mom and pops in the competition. So when you were saying that bot can expose themselves, do you think that they don't mind exposing themselves if it means that they can still have, because they still have the control? I mean, they'll play out of Benzo on playbook.
Right. So I mean, that's a capitalist playbook. I mean, the government in the United States, these are all Americans, right? And what's your favorite exchange?
Mine, I can say right now, if I had to, it would have been, at first it was Binance, but you know, we can't go, but now we have it in the US. But so I would say at this point, believe it or not, I still like GDAX and I like Coinbase, even though it's, you know, their prices are a little bit expensive.
So the whole thing I'm saying is that pretty much everybody has ever traded crypto. Right now, everybody like Binance. There's not a person that traded crypto and didn't like Binance. And Binance it's a foreign company. It's a foreign exchange. It was making about $3 million a day. And Bach is supposed to replace it. Institutional money didn't want to go on Binance because it's not, they can't make a call to their congressman or to their friend in SEC or in fencing or to a politician and say, hey, you know what? You know, we need to get this money back or we can't put the retirement funds in here. So that is ICE. That's Bach. That's New York Stock Exchange. Saying that, hey, you know, keep your money out. And once we come in, you can put your money in. But since we were going to launch on the 22nd or 23rd, let's just shut Binance down for a couple of months and get people off of it. Right. Let's get these Americans off of it. So now they'll have to look for another alternative. And the alternatives we have, they can compare to Binance. Bittrex is good, but it's not Binance. You know, KuCoin and all these other exchanges are good, but it's not Binance. Right. You know, Binance had the most amount of volume. They still have, and now it's a monopoly. And they're breaking that up. And now today have a different version for U.S. customers because we need to have KYC, we need to have AML, and you know that's America. You know, like lobbyists control the politicians, right? So SEC. Let's get into the conspiracy, the psychology of these markets. Coinbase is working with the IRS and reporting everything. Every user that's making money, if you buy 20,000 in crypto and Bitcoin, and it goes up to 100,000, how much you think the government gonna want? They're gonna be like, hey, you know what? You owe us at least 60,000.
They want a piece of that.
Yeah, we track what wallet it moved to. We track when you bought it. You bought at this price, and this is how much you owe us. Whereas other exchanges are saying that, hey, you know what? That's not our job.
Right.
We don't work for the U.S. government. And now they're saying, well, you can't operate here unless you do work for us. So you can't. So you have to create another exchange, make it a U.S. version, but for all our citizens, we want to make sure that they're reporting. And
which is a control system.
Right. I mean,
just on something while you were breaking it down, you said that more or less what I wanted to ask you is, when will we see retirement funds investing into Bitcoin, like teacher retirement funds? Because the stock, like, it's going to take a stock meltdown. Like some of these stocks will have to come down. Some of them have already come down. A lot of these companies have folded. Like we've seen stores closing in malls and stuff like that.
So that's the thing, That's the thing. We're getting down to. I think we're getting down to negative interest rates, and I don't think retirement funds. They don't have to go short. All these funds, they can short the market too, I think.
Mm.
You know, like they're not supposed to. I think when you're in a mutual fund, like there's no shorting in the mutual fund, right?
Right.
That's to pump liquidity into the market so you can stabilize the market. So people's retirements and mutual funds, that's to stabilize. That's if interest rates gets to zero, why do you think the market is still up at 3,000 Dow right now? It's because your money is no good in the bank. So where do you put that? Well, I guess we'll put it in the stock market. There's no use to us losing money. And so now the stock market is being propped up because the interest rates are so low. The feds are sending money, to the banks, bailing them out every night now.
Every night for 18
Every
nights.
night. They're sending them 75 billion, 10, 30 billion. Like they're putting money into the economy every night. And they're not calling it a bailout because that will make everybody panic. But why do you put that money if it's not working in the banks? Well, let's throw it in the stock market. And the stock market continues to, they're taking profits and then all of a sudden it shoots back up because it's too big to fail.
I look at it like I feel like you have to be something's wrong if you're willing to take that risk for the common everyday man to go and put money into the stock market, knowing what happened in 08. Well, I'm looking like the same conversation that me and Mo had last week was, I'm wondering who's going to be the next one. Was it Bear Stearns, the one that fails, or one of those companies that collapses? Who's going to be the next Enron? Like it's inevitable. One of them is going to happen, and that's what it's going to take for people to more or less flee. Or I feel like that's what's going to take for people to see what cryptocurrency can do and how it can help them as a digital store of value.
It's interesting. Kind of 2 points on that. I think that as far as the banks are concerned and the money flowing in overnight, like and how we were talking about last week as far as what's going to be the next one to fall, like the way the Fed is pumping this much money into the quote unquote banking system. The questions that I really woke up with this morning, and I'm trying to research this week. I want to research this week. Is who's receiving that money? Like which banks? And I guess part B to that is like, wasn't these the same banks that passed all of their stress tests like last quarter or 2 quarters ago? That were supposed to be, so prepared to handle any downturn, but now they got to pump money in. Like I'm very interested to find out which banks and who's on the receiving end, because I think that that's going to be the key. Because they said they're going to keep it going till October 10th or something like that. They can, but they shouldn't print money forever. So I mean, like, and then on the second point, as far as how that relates to Bitcoin and retirement funds, investing in Bitcoin and investing in cryptocurrencies, like especially like teachers' retirement funds, certain retirement funds based on their investment management policy, based on their the arrangement that the investment manager has with the teachers union or whoever they're managing money for. A lot of them supposedly by law, like Jamar said, cannot invest in alternative investments, and that's kind of what cryptocurrencies is grouped under now. In the, I guess, institutional realm, there are alternative investments. A lot of companies just can't invest in those, so I mean they just won't receive those funds right off the bat. But like Jamar said, I mean, if things collapse, that's based on current perception, and all that alternative can become primary, very quickly, depending on how people adapt to it. So, but just as far as how they're immediately going to receive those funds, like bot coming in is one of the ways that the institutions are supposed to be solving that problem, by allowing futures and more companies can hedge, quote unquote, and speculate with futures contracts that can't do it with alternative, quote unquote, alternative investments like private equity or cryptocurrency, but they can with futures because it's a hedging tool. So that's how it opens it up to more institutions. So just kind of put that out there.
Rich being rich, setting up all these programs, and you got to jump through all these hoops in order to protect your own assets.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I'm trying to break it down. Like we talked about this too. Like anybody who's over, and I'm sorry if I offend you, but anybody who's over like 50, trying to help them understand Bitcoin and value that it brings and how you can use it as a digital store of value. That's almost like pulling teeth for me, like trying to get them to understand it, because it's almost like they rather have a solid gold bar and they feel more comfortable. It's a comfort thing. You know what I mean?
Sean,
yeah.
I think that's unfair though. That's unfair for 50 because, you know, look at our public school and look at our system here. We don't have one class, you know, for entrepreneurship. You know, we don't have one class for entrepreneurship.
Or financial literacy.
Financial literacy. So, you know, technology and banking, you know, that's something for the elite. Because I mean, think about banks. Think about the psychology of bank. You take someone's money, you go trade money off of it, and then you charge them to hold their money and give it back to them when they have to ask you for it. So a bank is making money out of thin air. It's taking your money, loaning to another person that's joining your same bank and making money off their money. They ain't have no assets.
Yeah.
So if you've been in the banking and you're talking to the 50-year-old and saying, hey man, like I can't understand, you don't understand this, and then we're depositing our money in a bank. Like we supporting the same system.
When you put it that way, it makes sense. So it's like, okay, how about this? Well, then we've been groomed to go along with the current trend then, because it went from gold and silver coins to checks, to credit cards.
Think about it. 20 years ago, milk does a body good, and eggs, blah blah blah. And now they're like, hey, you know what? Maybe that's not good for you. The meals that we had in our school, that in public meals, and the 7 or the I don't know, the 6 categories or whatever.
Yeah, the food pyramid.
Yeah, the food pyramid, and everything changes. So it's all based on information. And it's like, now if you don't get vaccinated, you're the one out of the loop. We're in crypto. We the outliers. People in the marijuana, outliers. Until the pharmaceuticals get in and they're like, hey, you know what? Well, now I can go get a prescription.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, that's what I'm saying. That's the way the economy is. Trading has been around 100 years. Why everybody don't trade their own money? Because they're telling people not to, you know, like, yeah, you can put in a 401k and you can let it sit there for 60, 40 years. But why don't they promote to manage your own 401k?
Yeah.
You have a self-directed IRA.
Yeah.
You can actually manage your own funds. And I sent information to Mace today. I'm not his financial advisor. Supposedly, if you have one, he should be telling you that.
Yeah.
But if a realtor is not going to, hey, go sell your own house. Hey, you don't have the information. You need me. I have the market. Right? I mean, I was real estate 6-7 years. Like, no, you want a professional. But how do you become a professional? You have to start somewhere. It's like, well, why not start your own account? Why not start managing your own money? And so that's the confidence level, and that's why I say that people can't buy that. And that's when they come into a program, it's like that's our whole goal is to get them from not knowing anything about crypto to get them confident that, hey, you know what? I can manage this. I can take care of my own money. And that's a life-changing, idea that
someone who wants to would rather hold gold than Bitcoin. That's
so I had that, right?
See, you got it. What it coming, and I'm glad that you said that, because this is coming from like an economic historical kind of perspective. What I really think it is that most people when most people hear that, it's the people that control the value of Bitcoin, they don't realize that it's also the people that control the value of the dollar in the exact same way. And I think that we're so kind of automatically ingrained to accept the dollar and to accept gold as it being that piece of value, but it is that because we give it that. Before the dollar and before gold, it was silver. Before silver, it was goats and rice and beads. Like, it was the things that people gave value to, and the dollar has been has been for so long just that thing that most people don't realize the power they have now in accepting Bitcoin and understanding that we give Bitcoin that value the same way that we give it the dollar.
Right. So right now, they're trying to outlaw the gig economy. So many people are starting to like be independent, and they're trying to eliminate the gig economy. They don't want you to, because now it's like, well, man, that's the whole reason you have corporations and businesses, so they can actually collect your taxes for you. Now you have all these individuals that are, doing the gig economy, Uber, on Fiverr, and starting to make money that way. And they're like, well, that's going to be hard for us to control. So now even realtors, if they have independent contractors that work in their place, they have to make them employees, because they're doing the same thing that they're doing. So you know what, that person, if they're doing it for you, they have to be an employee. You have guys that were doing like a landscaper, and if he hires more landscapers to help him, they're saying, hey, you know what, he has to be an employee. So trading and traders, is like traders and real estate agents have been like kind of the outliers. IRS, when the IRS goes after the trader, it's almost for life now, because they're like, you know what, we don't know what house he's gonna sell, we don't know how much money he's gonna make, so we're gonna audit them every year. And it's supposed to be random, but traders, because your income can be unlimited, and for realtor, their income can be unlimited. They can go through a good year and they can like rack up. So I think when people talk about trading in the economy and the psychology, is like, you don't want to get into trading, you don't want to do that. They have to make it volatile. They're trying to flush guys out and make them blow their accounts and get out of this. But when you have time and you understand how the manipulation works, and that's why I say that's the advantage of crypto, is we can see the manipulation. We're looking, we're like, why Litecoin go down? It was like, oh man, they just got everybody stops. And then all of a sudden it went to 60. It's at 67, 68 right now. And this morning it was at 72. So it's only down $4, but it went down 12, and it stopped out everybody.
Yeah.
They ate up all those stops, and now they're back up. And so if you would have panicked and sold, that's why people say the manipulation. But for banks, they're playing both sides. They're hedging. They're buying the option contracts, or they're buying the futures contracts on one side for it to go up, and then they're short on the other side. And now they can just sell and buy on both sides.
Yeah, and they've already got their order set in to buy on that dip.
They already got the orders to buy dip. Hey, if it gets down here, I'll buy that dip in the futures market.
Well, that's where they're pushing it to, and then that's why they have their buys, because they know where they're going to push it down to.
So me and Nick, we were talking about the market going down to 7,500. If 9,400 break, 7,500 can be a reality. And that's why we swing trade, because this way, all right, you know what? We can get out at 94, and then we'll pick it up. We'll be patient, and we'll pick it up lower. But it's 9,400 and 8,900. That they can push it down lower. And the futures expire on the 26th or 29th?
27.
27. So when they expire, the market gonna go back up.
Right, if they push that down.
So they're pushing down for the expiration date.
Yeah.
And this is what people that leave the charts only, they don't have that background information of what's going on. This is the end of the third quarter.
Yep. I was about to say that October is notoriously red for the stock market too, for the same reason.
Well, this is in the third quarter, so they push it all down just so they can get ready for that selling rally.
Yep.
In mid-October, it's going to be good.
Yep.
Yep.
And so so I know we were supposed to be talking about psychology, and one of the things is that the emotions. What happens at the end of the month? for the regular person, they're panicking right now because at the end of the month, if they're trading or they're in the market, they see the market going down. What do they have to do at the end of the month? End of the month is when you pay all your bills. So if you have your money in the market and it's going down, what are you gonna do? You're gonna pull it all out because you're like, man, I got shit to pay on the first.
Yep.
I got all these bills coming up.
Yep.
For the guys that understand, they know that, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get out on the, what did I say, the 16th, 19th, 20th, get out plenty of time when the market is up. So this way you have yourself secured. So when everybody else is panicking selling, then all right, I can buy it on the first now. Because all their money is gone. You know, they're paying their bills and now we're buying. And now when they get ready to buy on the 15th, we're gonna be selling again. You know, so it's a psychology in the market. Same thing with Christmas. Every December it runs up, and why does it run up? You know, retail people are spending on holidays. It's articles now saying people are spending. 50% of the people have already started Christmas stuff.
Yep.
This is time that you want to be investing in the market. You know, because your Christmas is going to happen December 1st to the 15th when the market start running up, or the 25th. Christmas, the market is going to be sky high, and everybody else is going to be out the market because they're going to be celebrating Christmas.
Yep.
And for hedge funds and institutions, their quarter closed January 15th. That's why they had to, you know, for regular people, they quarter close at the end of the year. December 31st, that's when the year stops. Corporations, the end of the year stops January 15th. So they have different accounting principles. So, you know, this is stuff that the regular people out there, this is what they're not thinking about. They don't know how the markets work. They don't know how the bankers work. They just know that, hey, you know what? I took this course and I'm looking at this Fibonacci and this Elliott wave, we're on wave C. Like they look at these charts and like, there's a whole nother aspect to how money moves out in and out this market. Every night there's a pass off of funds from one economy to the next.
Yep.
You know, our market closed and Asia market opens. Asia market is down, then you know, Europe market opens.
London opens. Yep.
London. So there's this pass off. In Forex, Asian market is the least volatile. You know, low volume. London market is the most volatile. You know, and so you know, there's different things that you know they'll get this knowledge listening, but then you have to be in it because they're not. That's why you want all these different, you know, people knowing. You want a support group that start learning this, you know, that knows these different, you know, intricacies about the market. And once you know that, that's the confidence you can't buy. You know, guys get lucky trading all the time. They blow accounts and they're up and they're down and they're up. They've been trying to be a full-time trader for 5 years and they've been trading water, up and down, up and down. 1 month they're good, next month they lost the same amount they won last month. And I say won like they gambling because they playing what you call that? Fantasy football. They betting on things like, oh, he got 300 yards today. Boy did good today. You know, that is the type of games that are being played. And, you know, if you can protect some of the traders, you know, they say 90% of traders lose. And they put that in your mind to tell you, well, if I only made 1 or 2 trades and they both were winning, now I'm a 100% trader.
Yep.
They say, you know, if you trade every day, you're going to take some losses. But I see plenty of Forex traders, I see plenty of traders, they'll scalp all day. You know, and at the end of the day, it's not about winning and losing, it's about just being profitable or not. You can lose 80% of the time and still be profitable if you know how to manage your account. And so, you know, so like, you know, when we talk about family though, you know, because it's supposed to be a psychology, stress, you know, the stress of having a relationship and then also trade, you know, that becomes a different thing. Like, you know, the reason I stopped day trading because it was causing problems in the family. When they want to go to Disneyland and I'm sitting here and the market is good, it's like, you know what, y'all can go. I'm here. And so, you know, that actually impacts you, your sleep habits, you know, the interactions that you have with your loved ones. If you don't have someone to support you and you trading, because like I said, you know, and I would be upset, and they can tell my energy. Kids don't want to hug me and nothing. They be like, "Daddy, what's wrong?" And I'll walk out the office like, "Man, I'm thinking about this trade," and I realize like, those emotions every day is, is detrimental, and so you want to get that under control because when you feel good, you make money, and when you make money, you make more money. But when you don't feel good and you start losing, it's almost like a spiral, and so I think that's what another thing is that we get people to stop. There's a couple of times like this weekend, I was like, man, hope you guys enjoying your weekend. And I was like, I hope none of you guys are trading on Saturday when we had a down Friday. Go enjoy your weekend. And you need that. You need that as well. And I think a lot of traders, they'll end up trading forever. They addicted. Trading, money is like heroin. And I tell them like, I'd rather chase the freedom, and I'd rather chase the I don't have to compromise. You don't have to compromise, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't want to compromise the family. I don't want to have to be forced to trade.
Right.
So, that's something that when we had these psychology calls, these calls that you guys are giving, it's always something to talk about.
Always.
It's always. And so
Always.
Nick, how did trading help your family?
Yeah, just trading, I mean, it's just something to learn, and it's something you can use for a lifetime. It's like your education, you get school, the things you learn, anything in life you learn to ride a bike. It's something you take with you for a lifetime that nobody can take from you.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Come on, man, you gave me a generic answer. I used to go to the strip club, and I stopped going when I started trading.
Take my girls on a family cruise here in October.
Okay, that's what's up.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it'd be a Friday night, and I'll do something else. Now it's like, all right, Sunday afternoon, I'm always researching. Or I was watching football. I would spend a whole Sunday watch football. Now, 10 years ago when I started trading, like really every Sunday now is preparation for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the market. I'm on a call with you guys. Like it's changed my life because my focus is different now.
Yep.
Like I would go out and drink, go to happy hour, and I would get in trouble. It's like relationship problems. Now I make money and it solves some problems. And I have you guys that are cool. So trading for me, it's helped me like refocus. And now instead of trusting someone else to manage your money, we do it ourselves.
That's the part I like the most. Like I don't trust other people. So me learning how to become my own bank and be responsible for my own income and just survival, I like it. I don't like knowing that somebody else is taking my money and they're able to turn a profit off of it, and then they want to turn around and charge me or treat me lesser than to have access to those same funds. No, we're gonna play on the same sheet of music, man.
So you tired of being a sucker?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So no, I mean, and I did real estate, and I think at the end of the day, it's like when I was doing real estate, I had a mentor, and he was like, we go in the market for like 7%. Like we buy a house, and that's the average. 70 years is the average return on investment when you buy in real estate for long term. And he was telling me like, we can do this weekly, and that because like, I mean, I still love real estate. I have houses paid off real estate, but it's 30 years, 401ks, 20 years, 30 years, like sometimes like for me, I want it now. And I think trading allows you to have that, but then also on time. And so depending on, it had to find a balance, because that's one of the disadvantages of trading. You see, we up all times of night, and it's like, I love I love like researching, and it's fun, but then you also realize like, at least I'm doing something I love to do.
Yeah. That's a big thing for me.
I mean, because like, I don't complain.
Right.
Hey, Nick, so we working on a mastermind report right now?
At this moment, but yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we take a week
next month.
Yeah, I mean, we shut down for like 2 or 3, 4 days and just go through the mastermind report, and that's like, and it's the end of the month, and it's like accountants, they have end of the month things, and for a trader, it's like, well, what do you do? Like, you have to have some. I know some traders wake up every morning at 4 o'clock. They had a pre-market and they want to get prepared for the pre-market. We know some unicorns like Devin, they just wakes up at 4 o'clock because she just wakes up at 4 o'clock.
That's what unicorns do.
Right. So, Wendy, tell us how you trade and you fly.
Actually, it's I have learned when I first got into trading, when I did trading, when everybody got into Bitcoin when it went up, it was kind of like that time that I did have multiple days off, that day trading, and I was kind of like Devin said, that it really is too much. It is stressful. So flying and trading, being a swing trader is a lot easier because I'm not sitting in front of the computer. I don't have to. And plus I can't because I am flying and up in the air. So there is no computers to jump on. Also too, and I just think a lot of what you talked about, just having that monkey mindset, learning to control. There have been times where you have said, hey guys, this would be a good time to get in. And I'm okay not getting in at those moments because I know I won't be here to get in, because I do have multiple days where I'm out for up to 5 days. And I realized at that point that is okay because I don't have to get every trade. I don't have to get every trade. It's okay to miss this trade because I know there will be another one next week or the week after. There's always going to be a trade. Right. And so I don't feel like I have to catch every one that's out there that, okay, I got to get this one, that one, that one, that one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And so it is okay. So flying, always flying, we're not saying always flying, but just flying and not able to be in front of my computer, swing trade works a lot better for me because it's okay to sometimes be still.
And so that's a good point. Like, one thing is people, like for you, I mean, you hear and we don't talk about the monkey mind because people out there looking at us like think we probably crazy, like, the hell, they're talking about the monkey mind. And so, but I mean, on the trading, what new traders do are people that's busy, they go get in a signal and they start taking signals from people. And, I have people ask me like, hey, like, yeah, we have signals, but you have to know how to apply them because you can't just follow people's signals. You have to know like why they're trading that. And that's why I tell guys that, when we have our trades and our mastermind report, like just because someone alerts something doesn't mean you break your process. And you have to be able to look through and check and do the checks and balances because I can say, hey, it's good. But like if I say it's good and you don't look at it, when it goes up or it drops like Litecoin did today and you're in that position, you're gonna panic and sell. You're like, man, it was supposed to go up and now it's down, and like, I'm gonna sell. And traders lose money because they take a lot of small losses over and over again. People think that the trader that's in this market, he hasn't blown his account. What he's doing is dying 1,000 deaths. He's taking a small loss every day. He's like, oh, you know what? Well, I'm just gonna lose $20. I'm just gonna lose $50. Like he keeps taking those losses every day. He looks at the end of the month. He's like, man, I've lost like $2,000. And then they realize like, oh man, it's not for me. He's been spending all this time in the market, thinking he's researching, thinking, she's doing the right thing. And then it's like, oh, I'm gonna put a stop in. They get stopped out. They get stopped out and they get stopped out. And they're like, I'm not making no money. And so, and that's why you don't just have a signal service because they can get you into play, but like, what are you gonna do when you get into play? I tell traders like if foundation and you haven't learned how to trade, I can put it down now and come back in 6 months and it's gonna be gone. It's gonna be down to 110,000. And like most traders think, oh, if all I had was a little bit more money, I'd be okay. All I had, if I just had a little bit more money to trade with, I can make some more money. And it's like, nah, you skipping an important part. You skipping the foundation of building. You can't build a house on stilts. Like it may be good for the hurricane and you on top of the water, but what's gonna happen when that wind comes and you're on stilts? You don't have a foundation. And so, you have to have a foundation of trading. And when you're at hey, what should I do? It's like, well, what do you think you should do? You know, like, and so when they're taking signals, that's what's happening. They don't want to put, people go to college for 4 years, or they date a person for 5 or 6 years before they get married. They come in trading in 2 months. They like, you know what? I'm ready. It's like, nah, bro. Like, you went to school for 12 years, went to college for 4. You dated this girl for 6, but you come in trading after 2 months. You ready to be a full-time trader? Like, it doesn't make. I mean, that is the part where a person needs to like help guide them, because like you don't even know what you don't know. You've only been through 2 months. You haven't been through a whole season. You have to be through some seasons. And this, like 2018, everybody is on this call, or most of the people who's on the call was here in 2018. And that was a cold winter. You know, we're getting 2-3%. Now it's like, man, we get 10-15%. We happy.
No.
Like, that's perfect.
No. That's what I
So,
love.
you know, that is, you know, something that, you know, people out there that don't want to trade because they think it's a lot of work. It's not a lot of work. It's just that you have to be patient. You have to like be in this market, because once you're in the market and once you're observing and you're in a group and we calling out the thing every day, it becomes like a language. Like, I know some guys now that they can't trade without the mastermind report, because they like, hey, there's all this research is here. What should I do?
Those guys.
And now they know. Now they're reading it and said, all right, why? Why did he call this day that should be non-tradable? Or what are we watching for today? Some days we watching for events. Some days we watching for volume. Some days we watching for, we waiting for President Trump. You know? Yeah. You know,
He's supposed to be speaking tomorrow. Now I think about it.
Yeah, he was out here. He was out in California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he was going to all the places to get money.
No bueno.
And he's been bankrupt 4 times. He's running the country. So the stock market is a place that he's familiar with. You know, gold is something he liked. You know, all Trump towers is filled with gold. So gold has been up since he's been in office.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was one trade that when Trump was elected, I was like, buy gold. You know, he owned a ton of it when he came in office.
It's still going up now.
Yeah, people don't want it. They forget about that.
So silver's on the run right now.
Oh yeah.
On par with 08 numbers. Like that's what they're going too. So I don't even call myself a conspiracy theorist no more. I believe what I see. So if the trend set in before, like in 08, it said silver went from like $15-16 to about $30. That's a double right there. Different markets. People trade different commodities. So I'm waiting on this run. Bitcoin wasn't here in 08.
Hey, so look, let me ask you this. I mean, my wife, she's the economic man. And so we went out for her birthday this weekend, and we was talking. I was like, you know what I think? I was like, I think the economy, the government don't want you to have cash no more. How about if they get rid of it? Like they got rid of gold. And I think that the economy, like, all right, we're gonna talk about conspiracy now. How about if they are pushing away from gold? I mean, from cash.
I believe that. Everything.
Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, they all coming out with a stable coin they're testing out. Yeah. I think they're trying to get people prepared, because now you have limits to how much in Australia. You can't even do a transaction over $1,000.
Oh wow.
Like $800 is a limit.
Yeah, what you're saying makes sense, because they came through and bought up all the banks around 08, when the collapse happened or whatever. You saw bigger banks in bigger cities. Like when I was in Chicago at the time, LaSalle Bank got bought out by Bank of America. So all across the country, we saw these banks that were in centralized locations throughout different major cities get bought out by JP Morgan Chase and PNC and MBS.
All right. So this type of stuff we talk about. So like, look, if everybody on this call had 100,000 in at their house, what would you think you'd be considered? A regular American, or somebody's like, why you got 100,000? Why you had that much money at your house?
Criminal.
So if they're talking about people in crypto that's considered like, oh, that's terrorist criminals. If all of us on this phone right now had 100,000 in our backyard, they're not gonna call us preppers. They're like, why is your money? You can't even deposit that. you'll be considered suspicious if you haven't had a deposit of cash over 10,000, and all of a sudden you walk in the bank with 100,000, you might get arrested. If you don't have a good excuse, you might get arrested.
You can't prove it's your money.
You got to prove exactly how you got that money and where you got it from and how long you had it, and they may close your account.
Yeah, and won't take the money.
And tell you, hey, where you want us to wire this money? Because we're not giving you cash. So but seriously, we laughing and joking about it. But that's why crypto, if you have 0 interest rate in the bank and there's an asset like crypto or gold, that is going up and down in value, it is an alternative to getting negative interest rates. Negative interest rates is bad. It's bad for everybody.
Right.
Paying somebody to hold your money. Now, I don't understand how that's okay at all.
Right. So millennials and Generation X, they growing up in a society where their money is on their mobile phone.
Yep.
It's on a game.
Yeah.
My kid don't ask me like, hey, can I get $20? He's like, can I use the Starbucks apps? Can I get some money for this game? Can I get an iTunes card?
4 days.
Like that's the economy. Our military is getting paid with debit cards. They don't get a check no more. They get money loaded onto their cards. People at McDonald's, they get money loaded on their cards. So, the Visa, when it comes to crypto, they're not going to change. They're not going to say, hey, you know what? We're going to mail you a check. It costs you money to get a check mailed. Online gambling, they send me a card. I got one. I bet on the horses. If you bet on the horses in China, $2 can turn into 100,000.
That's crazy.
They got so many people betting online.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm saying that that is the world is changing and people don't realize it. Tesla right now, they got cars that's going to, they're doing reports on how many people have sex in the cars. Because people, when they driving cars, they were like, well, how much time are they having sex? Because that's when they increase the population. Because everybody's not gonna have protection in the cars when it's driving out of autonomous. They might be safe and they might be having babies in the cars. So it's like, these are things that are happening, and crypto is one of them. Crypto is one of them. It might not be Bitcoin, but Starbucks is going to have a coin. Amazon right now just had the thing came out saying that they're going to allow you to buy things on cash. Cash is the new black market item.
Yeah, yes it is.
Because they realize that there's people with cash that won't buy online because they don't want to be tracked electronically. So Amazon is like, hey, you know what? We got this great idea. You can order online and go pay somewhere in cash. Because smart people are holding their cash.
But what though? The dollars, it's literally losing money. Like I don't understand why anyone will hold on to cash. Like $1 for people from my generation. I remember when I was a kid, you could buy 2 candy bars for $1.
Right, bro. Hey, what I'm gonna do with some gold? You may still take cash, but ain't nobody taking my gold bricks.
That's true.
I said that.
Yeah, so that's why you're hoarding cash. You don't have no cash in your house?
Well, of course I do, but I ain't hoarding it. Like I got, I put more money into crypto, and then you can take the money off of crypto. You can buy gift cards, and you get credit, and you get credits for buying the gift cards. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm all about. I make my money work for me. Like
I like freedom. I like cash, and I like crypto. Hey, I mean you gotta like it all, right?
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Because I mean it's not about the money; it's about the freedom.
Yeah, and diversify.
Right. So I mean, cash don't make you no money, but other people like it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's some coins we buy it, and we don't buy it because we like the coin. We buy it because other people like it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna sell it to them.
XRP.
Yeah, XRP. I don't like XRP. Well, we buy it because other people like it.
Yeah.
So
XRP.
hey, Sean, yeah. I'm not gonna pull out no cash today, but I keep the cash too.
I'm with you. I'm I'm big into crypto. Like I like everything that they do, and I like how you. The only thing I don't like now is how it's being tracked now. Like for real, for real. There's no
Right.
no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like you
All right. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the tracking.
Okay.
All right. So the tracking. There's companies out there right now. A lot of people are leaving the United States in crypto. So in California, you're gonna have a real ID, and it's gonna spread to every state. You're not gonna be able to leave this country unless you have a real ID.
Yeah. I know
So that's for tax purposes. A lot of people are going outside the country because they can start up STOs, they can start up other coins, and they can raise money. You can't even raise money here without having like SEC or my boy. He just told me today, like we were talking last night. He was like, I'm getting 10, 20,000 doing PPMs, private placement memorandums, and he's building them out, and he's helping guys raise money legally here in the crypto. And he's like, it's so many people that it's new ways to even raise money in crypto. So the PPMs, if you go look it up and you look up PPM plans, that's private placement memorandums. And they're paying a lot of money. They're paying 10, 20,000 for just a document of how to structure these documents. So, there's a whole economy being around crypto where, I was telling you guys, like, there's so many other ways to make money. And that's why it's important that you learn, the entire economy, the infrastructure that's being built around it. The smart contracts is going to replace lawyers. It's not going to replace them, but it's going to be a tool that lawyers are going to have to use. Insurance companies have to use smart contracts.
Yep.
Companies, realtors,
Because it's going to be quicker and easier.
Quicker and easier.
It's that simple.
It's
that simple.
In 2 hours. You're gonna put your information in, the smart contract gonna pull it out, and you're gonna have you a new consolidation loan.
Yeah.
Credit cards, 0 interest. You'll be able to redo those.
And it's secure. Yep.
So, education. I was working on a project a couple of years ago with UC Irvine. They're basically tracking every test, every attendance, every person that goes through. So this way, when a person goes to get a job, they can like, I'll send you my transcripts. And they have their access on the blockchain. So, Disney is tracking all their food supply through the blockchain. They had Disney dollars before, but they're going to have a Disney coin. Because then in the park, they can pay. You come in, Disney was like $180 when I went there this weekend. My family got a season pass, but I had to pay $180 to get in. And then it's like, all right, well, you can get credit. And they took my picture, put me in the system. And, in the future, you'll have coins.
Change them out.
On your phone.
Right. Yeah, I had the app on the phone, so I can see how long the line took, everything.
So everything's going to be tokenized, and every company will have their own token.
Every company will have their own token in the future. And we'll be able to invest in that, and we'll be able to trade that. Yep. But the biggest thing is it's the adoption. People are not smart enough for crypto. They're not smart enough right now. They don't want to take the effort. Like people don't even want to manage their own money.
Yep.
I get more offers every day for someone to ask me to manage their money.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'll charge you 10, 20%. They're like, you know what? You can make 50 though. Yeah, I'll pay it. I'm like, man, my course is only this.
Right.
And they're like, no, I just want you to do it.
Oh, you were talking about tokenization. So did you see where the NBA player was this guy, Spencer Dinwiddie?
Oh yeah.
He's cashing in.
It's not smart for not good players. Hey, get that guaranteed money.
He's decent.
Right.
The contract is guaranteed, and then tokenized on his contract to make money off of that. I thought that was a pretty good move.
No, it's a smart move. It's a smart move. What's our biggest problem in crypto?
Volatility.
Huh?
Volatility. Well, don't nobody know about it. It's not massive.
No, what's our biggest problem in crypto? What's your biggest problem right now if we want to get people in?
Either educated.
The first 30 days is the hardest part, the obstacle. Most people get discouraged in the first 30 days in crypto. They gotta get a wallet, they gotta go buy exchange. It's too much work. People are lazy. They don't want to go to that first step. Ah man, I gotta go do this, I gotta do that, I gotta wire. They were like, oh man, the Coinbase is too difficult. I got to send my license, my ID. Like, something's wrong.
Yep.
They go in the bank account and you go get a teller. And the reason why you have a teller is because people want the personal interaction. So that's different. If we work with everyone that wanted crypto, and you worked with them directly, I worked with them directly, we wouldn't have no problem. Like people, they'll come through. When I was a consultant and I worked for Best Buy, or I had a company that supported Best Buy, they made more money off the Geek Squad because they had a personalized service. People, they made, that was one of their best investments, is to buy the Geek Squad. Because the Geek Squad gave people personal service.
Mm-hmm.
So for the trading, people want personal service. They want you to help them get through, help you hold their hand, help you walk them through. That's what they want. Everybody wants it to be easy. But they'll stay at a job for 20, 30 years because it's comfortable.
Yeah.
So people want comfort.
Yeah.
Crypto is not comfortable. They're like, what do I do if I mess up? Like, bro, you lost your money. They're like, oh no, that's too much. I'm gonna keep my money in the bank.
Don't want to be accountable. No one wants to be accountable for their own.
Accountable.
You know, they don't want to be accountable for their own
They want to be accountable
for their own growth, for that matter. So yeah, I get it.
Yep.
And so, and then for women, women that come in crypto do great because they know how to manage their money. But some women don't want to come through the doors because they got to figure shit out. And you have women here that do great once they get in.
Yeah.
It should be way more women in technology, way more women in crypto.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Like my wife, she went to school, UCLA, business economics, and she tried to go to Wall Street, and all the dudes like shunned her. And so, and then it's like, I was like, so why you quit? Difficult. Who wants to deal with that? Who wants to deal with 30 dudes, pounding on you every day?
Yeah.
And it's like, but once you get over that and you show you're good, then it's good. Most women manage the funds in the house. Most women manage the money and know what budget. So they should be in crypto.
Yeah.
Like every woman should be in crypto.
Amen.
Huh?
I said amen.
He's waiting on you.
We trust our women with the most valuable thing is your kids.
Children, right? Yeah.
So nothing more valuable than your kids.
Yep.
So they should be managing the crypto. And I got that from Mike Waller. He was saying that, hey, I'll buy. I know when to get in, but I let my wife sell. And I was like, hey, that's a good team. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
yeah. He was like, yeah, I'll get us in the trade. And he was like, she manages the exit. And I was like, man, that's awesome. That's good teamwork.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I can only imagine how much that'll save me.
Yeah. So, and so we work together and we work together as a big group. In trading, you need that. Like nobody should be trading alone. I don't think.
No, you guys help me.
Right. Like Nick. I wouldn't trade without Nick.
I don't think none of us can trade without Nick.
Yeah, hey, right. Nick he send me information every day. Sometimes I'm like, Nick, bro, you gotta explain some of this shit. You send me like 3 lines, bro. You gotta send me more than this. All right. So so like everybody on the call, man, I appreciate the team and the unity. And and I'm glad that we converting Tiala. She's on every call.
Oh, and I'm grateful for Tiala, for real.
Yeah, she's good. And she hasn't said nothing the whole call.
Man, I'm soaking in this knowledge.
No, hey, you always be so quiet and they're gonna make money. Be like, I had another good day. Another good day.
That is.
Hey, she invests 30, 45 minutes an hour and she's like, I had another good day.
Just be silent. Just be silent.
What's up?
No, everything you guys have said, I think has been so powerful. In all honesty, like you said, I think the value of what everybody's willing to share with one another. Like I said, it's no sense of going in alone. It's like, and there, I know someone earlier was saying that sometimes you'll make a call and I'll be like, you know what, I'm not in the right position. I just don't, my mind's not clear. So just don't take everything and wait. But at the beginning, I was trying to jump in everything. Right. And so, but now it's kind of like, I just kind of relaxed and said, you know what? And even when that happened today on Litecoin today, I was like, you know what? I got into a position, I think at 70 or 72. Right. And then I was like, okay, so I'm just going to cost average down. And so I still didn't go all in on the next cost average, but it's like, okay, so now I know I'm in about 66. So I'm at break even. So now I got a little bit of room to maneuver just in case it wants to drop some more, but still just the value of this group. Cause most time before I joined this group, I would have probably just panicked and sold it, just say, hey, just get rid of all of it and just take my loss and keep moving. But now it's kind of like, I just sit back and say, you know what, it's down right now. I'm in a swing position. I'm going to wait it out. So if it's still down next week, okay, then I can figure out, okay, maybe it might be time to exit, but it's no rush. Right. And that's the thing. Like, I'd rather for us, we don't lose no money. We might lose some time, but we ain't gonna lose no money. That's right. Right. And so we got time on our side. And that's where, I think people, the instant gratification is like, I wanted to have this call because I was like, hey, you know what? We down. And, I had a couple of guys that would have panicked. And it's like, I was like, bro, like, we're not down that much though. If you looked at how much we were down a lot when it first happened. But that's because I tell guys, like, we sometimes we're too much on it. Like, we're too ahead and like, we're too fast. And sometimes I was like, hey, you know what? Just slow down. Like, give it a day. Think about it. Because, that's what happens when you become like, when we get that trader assessment out to a lot of people score high, but then they're too smart. And it's like, bro, like, you too smart. You might be too smart to trade because you think too fast and too quick. And that's the reality. It's like some people are too smart and they don't do well trading. And then it's like, slow you down and just, make you become patient. Where it's like, now you run with the pack. So now we can balance you out a little bit. And then there's some guys that, they're smart, like, like Nick, bro, like the last 3 weeks, you've like gave us news and it didn't happen. And the smart guys are like, well, shit, the news ain't working. And it was just like, we were just so quick. And then all of a sudden it goes up 20% like rep. And another one, like Chain Link continue to go down. And you're like, hey, they're still selling. So, I mean, like, sometimes you just have to be like, all right, the information comes in. Same thing with the bot. Hey, look at the Scott.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, so Scott takes care of all the automated trading in the DCG.
I guess I hopped on at the right time.
yeah. We just talking about the bot, man. We've been talking about the bot for 2 hours.
Dang. I'm good,
right.
Green Lantern bot.
Yeah, we've been talking about the bot. You got anything to add?
Right now, what have you went into already? I mean, I don't want to reiterate anything. I don't want to reiterate anything you already said. So,
all right. Hey, give us your best 2 minutes.
My best 2 minutes of the bot.
Uh-huh.
Well, honestly, it's just about automated trading. It simplifies your trading. So, what I like about the bot most of the time, it forces you to do all of your analytics up front, especially with the small orders. So you know when to buy, you know where you want to sell. And you know exactly what you want to do before you go in and execute your bot order. So for me personally, it forces me to actually be smart before I actually make the trade. I'm not just clicking things around. Just like it's easy to go into a trade if I'm looking at the exchange and say, okay, looking at the charts, buy and sell. But if I'm setting up a small order or setting up my bot, I actually have to look at it and be sure that this is what I want the bot to do, or this is what I want my small order.
So you telling me you still got to be smart to use a bot and you got to think?
No, it's not really being smart. It's not really being smart. It's just, it's just making sure that you got a sound set, strategy before you actually go in and start clicking nilly-willy. It takes away
so
the monkey
you
mind.
Telling me that you got an automated trading bot and you got to have a strategy. If you can't just turn it on.
Of course, you got to have a strategy for everything. You can't just turn it on, especially when it comes to down days and up days. You got to make sure you turn the bot on when the time is right. You got to make
so
sure.
let me be devil advocate. Everybody out there listening and talking about automated trading. If you don't have a strategy and you're using automated trading strategies and you don't have a strategy, then you're not gonna make no money. If the bots were so good out there and all these dudes, account managers, if it was so good out there you wouldn't have no Wall Street traders. They would fire every trader out there if you didn't need a human. So anybody out there that think they can just gonna make money and have a bot and it's gonna do everything for them, and you're not gonna have to think. Like we do day trading, swing trading, investing, automated trading. We have all that in the group, but you still got to be smart.
Definitely. You definitely have to have a strategy with the bot, because I've seen new users get on and they just, okay, start. They're like, I'm taking losses. I'm like, well, what's your strategy? What'd you put in? What's your configuration? You have to sit down what's going on.
I say, what did Scott teach you? Hey, have you been on Scott's call? Hey, when's your call, Scott?
Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m.
All right. Yeah. So, hey, anybody out there that want to learn about automated trading, he has his calls at Tuesdays and Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, or no?
Eastern.
Yeah, so 6 p.m.
I'm on the East Coast.
Right, and 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you guys can hop on that call, and you don't have to be a member of the group. Do that because you still need the system.
Yes, sir.
Like you can't trade, huh?
It's like kind of like professional fishermen, pro anglers, bass masters. It's not robots. Each person has a strategy. You can't just go in there or there would be robots out there fishing, but they can't. They have a strategy. They plan out what they're going to do.
So you got to tell me that they got to go to a certain part of the lake on certain times and certain hours. Yep. The fish ain't gonna be the same spot every time, Nick.
Exactly. What the moon phases are and all that stuff.
Nick, where you from? Alabama. See, you take a guy from Alabama, he's gonna tell you where to go in that pool.
especially with the bots, there's more than one, so each bot has its own strategy, so you can't just keep the same strategy with different bots. So we all go into that during the calls, but everything has its own tweak and peak.
So now we got Scott that he's gonna do robotics. We got Nick, he gonna tell us where to fish, so we gonna be able to eat. We got the robotics. We got Maurice, he in Atlanta. He gonna tell us what strip club to go to.
All right.
Yeah.
Devin, she's in Nashville.
Yep.
We going to a bar. They got like 3-4 level bars, right? With bands. We got good music. We're gonna use Wendy. She gonna get us on what's some flights called where you on standby?
Buddy pass.
Yeah, we can go anywhere we want. We just won't be on standby. We might be in the airport a couple of days, but we're gonna get there.
Got the whole team covered.
And Deshaun, he gonna give us some medicine. Hey.
I think we're getting silly. It's late.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Good stuff. We'll go back, but we're not trading right now. I'm looking at Bitcoin. He's at 9,700. Yep. So what time we supposed to trade? Tomorrow after 1. So for the guys that join late, that's when we'll be looking at crypto. Tomorrow after 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And for you guys on the East Coast, then you can look at it at 1 p.m. Eastern, and that's actually the slowest part of the day, right? From 10 to 12. So if you guys are not a trade, there's certain even times of the day that's gonna give you an advantage of when to buy. When I say it's a slow part of the day, that's like the best time to buy because it's at the lowest point.
Yep.
So
the quiet time.
Yeah, so every day you should go into the market with a strategy. You should know what time you're gonna trade, when you're gonna trade, at least have a bias. Mm-hmm. And that psychology, that part of it, that creates a confident trader. And that's something you don't buy. That's something you like. You need to be guided. If you're doing it by yourself, you can't track all this by yourself. I see guys out there, Derek, Russell, got a lot of people online, Pamela. So it's a lot of things that it's an advantage. We're seeing Bitcoin drop right now. I'm looking at it, and you can look at the day's range and know where you're at. So right now, if you're in Bitcoin, the support is at 9,600. And we're always tracking the market, even though we joke around and we on the call. We've been here for an hour and a half or an hour. I don't know how long we've been online, but
About an hour and a half now.
Yeah, an hour and a half now, huh?
Y'all was out here partying, huh?
Yeah.
Y'all was out here partying.
Scott, we didn't talk about the bots.
So this is a midday or so, guys.
Hey, what's up, Maceo? Maceo.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Hey, you know, I've really enjoyed, you know, like checking everything out, and I kind of been taking my time. At first, I was like, man, I'm missing out on all this action, but you know, really, it's been good to kind of understand some of the tools, because before I've never done trading before.
Right.
I always just you know, buy and hold, be able to pick, you know, like stocks I like. Jumped into a lot of things just because of a lot of news. Like I got into cannabis and got killed. But you know, the thing that I really focus on now is just really trying to get the tools together, get my strategy set. And you know, I'm looking forward to like repositioning my IRA so I can utilize that, you know, and do some trading with it.
Hey, you can't tell nobody I sent you the information on IRA stuff. They'll put me in jail for that. So I sent you some educational information.
It's educational information. That's all right. You know, I hate making the government a passive partner in my activities and stuff. So, you know, as much as I can be as tax efficient as possible, you know, it's what I'd like to do.
All right.
But I do because what's that? But I wanted to find out, you know, because I know there's like a lot of news comes out. I want to know if these things that you should just totally ignore, like guy Tika Tawari or something. He had a splash on what he's publicized in terms of coins that are set to take off in the future. I was just wondering, what's your opinion on people like that in his newsletter?
That's a great question. So he was asking me like Tiki, you got Tiki Papers, whatever. You have influencers out there that have huge followings. He charges about $2,500 for his report. $2,500 report for every quarter. And so he's charging about $12,000 for his information. And he got guys with a lot of money that's following him. And you know, when he puts out a report, it moves the price. It moves the price. But in crypto, you know, we're in technology and everything is based on sentiment. So the sentiment of the market, when you have guys that have that influence and they can basically say, hey, buy this or buy that. You know, he spends his time, you know, like John McAfee, they can support something and they'll move. And they're basically, you know, guys that don't have time, they'll listen to these guys and they'll go buy it. And then somebody gets stuck with it. Our thing is to watch the volume and be in the move before it happens, or we'll see the move happen, because they'll start buying something in first, and then when they release that report, it shoots up, and then they'll get out. And that's why I say we avoid the pumps and the dumps. You know, we don't even play with those unless we're in them first. So I feel about that. I feel like that's a part of the market. It happens in the stock market. It happens in the options. If I have a position that's $10 million, or I have a position that's $20 million, I'm willing to go pay 5 journalists $100,000 a piece, and that's why they go to jail. In SEC is regulated. That's called, you know, what they call that?
Insider trading.
Insider trading, right? Right. So they do that. They can't do that in the stock market as open. In crypto, you'll see the same articles being put on the front line, and it happened 6 months. Oh yeah, Apple just released, you know, they're partnering with this company. And it's like, well, man, that came out 6 months ago. So they can buy into positions and they can actually shield things. And so that's why we watch the volume, because they can manipulate the markets and they can manipulate the news, but we can see that volume coming in before it happens. So when we were in Ethereum and we got in at 169, we started seeing all these articles come out at 190. We were already in, because we started seeing the volume at 165. You know what I'm saying? And it took us, we had to wait there for a week. We waited in Ethereum for a week before it made a move. But we seen the volume coming in. And same thing with Link. We seen the sellers, developers selling, sellers. And then who stopped it from going down? Tiki. or whatever his name is, Tawarki, whatever his name, you know, at 160,
Right.
150, that's when they started pumping. Now it's at 180. So, you know, if I'm a coin, I'm like, hey, bro, like, here, we'll give you 100,000, 200,000. I need you to stop this from dropping. Can you write a positive article and tell your guys to buy this? And all of a sudden, everything is fixed again now.
Yeah, Link. We don't know. Link could be, Chainlink could be paid them to do that.
Yeah, they could be paying them to do that. So it's been dropping for 2 weeks after it went up to $3. It was at 160. It was at 160. And then Takari come out with a paper. Here's my sleeper pick. You know, it could have been the company paying them off. Like, look, man, if this keep going down, we're losing money. I will pay you $1 million. Go ahead and pump this out to your followers. And his followers paying him $2,600 a quarter.
Okay.
That should make you feel like
Question.
shit, Nick. People
Right.
and you much better, and nobody's paying you.
Right.
I have another question. What is this thing about the halving that's going to happen like in May of next year? What's the impact of that? And how do you prepare to strategize your positions with that upcoming?
Somebody else want to take it? I mean, I'll tell them. I mean, anybody else want to speak on the halving?
Okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I guess I
can.
can. I mean, even though I'm in stocks, but it's simple economic supply and demand. Halving is when each coin has a mechanism of controlling the amount of coins in circulation, and halving is a way that most coins take. Most companies take their coins off of the blockchain. They basically have them, and so the impact that it'll have is that there will be a lower supply of coins available for trade. So usually just, you know, supply and demand economics, when there's lower supply, that increases price.
Yeah, and for Bitcoin specifically, it's, you know, it's mined. People mine Bitcoin in a certain amount produced each day. And so the halving will cut that in half when that happens. So there'll be less supply, but by that time, there's going to be more demand than now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did that help?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Thanks.
No problem.
I think right now it's about 1,800 coins a day that are produced in Bitcoin. And so that'll be cut in half to 700, no, 900, 800, 850.
It's gonna.
Wow.
I think it's gonna take the price up more. Like, what's supposed to happen? That's next year, right?
Yeah, May 2020. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be interesting. It'll be fun. It'll be like it was last year when we were talking. I mean, because earlier this year, January, Bitcoin was $4,000. We haven't even made it all the way through the year, and it's double that now. So,
but the reason why we swing traders is because the sentiment changes, and so even with Litecoin, we got out in I think July when they were supposed to have it August. They're having in August, and we basically said, you know what, we're gonna take our profits now because we didn't need to see if it was gonna go up or not. We're already in it. We already made enough money. Finance, we were in at $4, went up to 34, 36. We took profits. It's like you don't have to stay in it. So if we know we have it happening and all this news is going to pump it up to May, we may start buying it now, holding it, and we might start selling in April before May, right? Because we don't need to know if it's going to continue to go up. We can always rebuy. So like we're going to sell the news all the time and take profits, because what traders don't realize is like you don't make no money unless you're a seller. You don't make no money unless you're a seller. And guys buy at the wrong time. They buy when it's up. You know, we sell when it's up.
Yep.
So the halving, like we do, if we're doing this every day and we're swing traders and we're trading for a week at a time, I don't care what's gonna happen in May. We need to get past next week.
right.
And we need to sell something before next week is up. And so, yeah, you know, when May get close, we'll be in, but we may not hold it into that halving. and we may just rebuy it. It may cost a little bit more, but we're gonna secure our profits. Right. And so, I mean, and by that time, we're gonna have so many people in DCG move the market, altcoin, and move the market.
Hell.
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, I mean that's one of the things that in our group, whatever, like 6 months from now, bro, like let's just take it one trade at a time, and we do the mastermind report. We trading for this month, and we know in November, we know in October, we have a projection. But right now, like we need to make our goals each month. This month it was 27%. We made like 20% on Ethereum, and we got 3 or 4 more days to make another 7%.
We'll come back around.
And then we hit our goal,
Yeah.
And I mean that's what it's about. And we don't want to take no big losses, even though Litecoin dropping today, but it recovered. So I think we're down like 5%. And people like Tiala that bought in more, she's even. But so that's the the trading, the psychology part of it. A lot of it in crypto has to do with sentiment. Like we still so early. Like we still are early in this game, where it's not a mature market like the stock market. It's not a mature market like even Forex and options. They're mature markets. Our markets is still a baby. It's still a baby, and like the longer we in it, the more that we're learning like how the manipulation is happening. Like right now, so many people in other fields they'll try to trade, and they get stuck. They're like, man, like time. It's like they don't understand the manipulation. There's manipulation in all other markets, but if we didn't use those stops, they asked me like, well, what's your stop? I'm like, bro, like I didn't use a stop for a certain reason, and I'll just buy more. I don't need to use a stop. Now if you're day trading, you want to use a stop, but if you're swing trading, it's like, well, yeah, it's gonna go down, and I'm gonna buy more at some point. And I'm looking at the week chart. I'm looking at the 2 weeks. I'm looking 2 weeks out. So there's a different mentality, and people have to learn that. You can make 1% every day, day trading, 2%. The best traders don't make 1% a day. The best traders don't make 1% a day. If it was that easy, everybody on Wall Street would have 20%, 30% gains every month. If you make 1% a day, you're making 30% a month. Right? So, that's a day, 30% a month. And when we say we made 20% and the month's not even over with, like sometimes guys get greedy, but they don't know how well we're really doing.
It's some funds that don't make 20% a year.
Right. I mean, we look at. I told them, guy, hey, we might make 27%. They were like, bro, that's it. I'm like, bro, like the best people don't make, 20, 30% a month. Like we expect to make 50 to 100%. They're like, well, I thought you were good. I thought your team was good. You 30%. I'm like, all right, well, y'all expect to make 100% every month. And that's what guys with small accounts. Guys with big accounts, they come with 100,000. They say, oh man, 30%, that's 30,000. Where are you gonna get that return off 100,000? Nowhere. My guy told me 7% was like, man, awesome. If you can make that in a month, and you're in real estate, take that money, you come make 7% in 1 month, and you don't have half the headache. You don't have to deal with no escrow, no actions. You don't have to, come out on the weekends. You just, you sit in your office and you just place the trade.
Yeah.
All right, it ain't that easy, but what I'm saying, I'm gonna stop that talking. We got new people in here watching. All right. Hey, I think we're good. We're gonna give up all the goods. We don't hear him stay here all night.
2 hours. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Nick, he has to do his technical analysis.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
we just took up all your time, Nick, huh?
Hey, Nick, you got 9 minutes.
All
right.
Hey, you want to show something?
Sure.
right, he's gonna share his screen, guys. Nick does all the technical analysis on the team. He's gonna do something real quick.
So looking at what Ethereum, what I shared the other day, looks like we've came down and hit this the EMA 25. If we stay above that, then we should continue up. If we have more down like tomorrow, like Jamar said, 192, 190 bottom, and I think we'll see could see more continuation up for Ethereum. It's still followed my pattern I posted here. So far, I wasn't sure when the ups and downs would happen, but it's pretty much been on point with my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey, you moving your mouse too fast, Nick.
over here. Yeah, I like to have a fast mouse. But
so you're telling the people right now if they put an order at 192, they're gonna make some money?
Possibly, yes. It's educational purposes only.
Hey, don't give up all the goods, but he's telling you guys if you put it at 192, you might make some money tomorrow.
But that's Ethereum, and then watching the alt market cap. I still think as long as we stay above this zone here, we'll be good to see some more continuation up.
So what is this? What chart is this, Nick?
This is the alt market cap. So this is altcoins minus Bitcoin.
So why are you looking at this chart?
Because we've seen Bitcoin dominate, or the dominance of Bitcoin reduced. That puts the alt market coins to go up, and so we've seen Bitcoin funds come out of Bitcoin and go into the alt market cap, and we've noticed that because of looking at the total market cap hasn't went up a whole lot. So a lot of the funds that were moving around were just moving mostly out of Bitcoin. And so that's why we track, part of the reason we track that also.
So like this chart though, like for a lot of people that's new to trading, they only this chart and be like, man, there's like so much going on.
Yeah.
So like what should they be looking at if they're like new? Like, I mean, you're gonna explain it to people that's looking at it right now.
Right. So we're looking at the alligator on the 1 day. And so we've been under as far as the alligator. We started to move up above the ribbon, what some people call a ribbon. And we've come back down, and just overall, when I look at here, if I was looking over long term, and so this zone here has kind of been a zone of support and resistance through here.
Right. So now I understand.
And also long term here, this has been like a trending zone here. If you look back from 2016, 2015, these two trend lines has been a strong zone for the alt market cap to stay in, and we're at the bottom of that zone right now.
All right, stop, hold on, stop, Nick. Because like we traders and most of the guys, if they're looking at this right now, they're confused. But if you look at this, basically where this line is at right now, where the Y is and the W, it's basically you're finding support right here. Like this is the line that you're like, that line is supposed to mean that maybe it's gonna find support here and it's gonna start going the opposite way.
Yeah.
In these biome right here, this red bars that's under, there's a lot of selling activity.
Yep.
Right. And all of a sudden it's so I mean if you zoom back out, like when you zoomed out overall, there you go. And you look at that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This looks like where another one is going to start at the end of it.
Yeah.
Right, because it goes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, like, it looks like buying here would be a good idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or
I agree. And plus, going into the end of the year is usually a time that where the alt, or actually just the market overall, usually tends to go up.
And so this chart is about biome. It's looking at the overall biome of crypto, and this is where we have an advantage because most guys look at individual coins and markets, but like in crypto, we're actually looking at the entire market as a whole, as one vehicle. And basically we're able to like, you know, chart the actual volume.
And
And
actually,
say, huh?
and actually looking there, you got five red days.
Right, 5 red days.
Due for a reversal.
Yep.
So normally in the stock market, you don't get 7 down days in a row.
Nope.
Like
3 to 5.
3 to 5, right?
Yep.
So if you have some crypto experience or a stock market experience and you come over to crypto, there's some things that happen that the guys that were trading stocks and now they're over in crypto, they realize the psychology of it. They don't realize that 7 days don't really happen in the stock market. And so when they see it in crypto, this is like a buying signal.
Well, yeah, and you can see here, going back in history, there's no, on this chart right here, there's no 5 days in a row red.
Right.
Bro, there's no 5 days in a row?
Nope.
Are you
got
using
3,
logic?
2, 3.
Are you just increasing
People
your
right
odds?
there.
All right, so hey Nick, we're gonna keep you awake. Like, so Nick, he does the advanced classes, and so a lot of guys are not in the mastermind. They not, you know, we share this on a regular Facebook Live. We're gonna scare some people. This is when you guys move up to the next level. This is the next level chart. So normally these don't get out, but you know, if you guys are watching, that's the advantage that we have in crypto, is that we can take the entire market and look at it as a whole and make trades based on that.
Yeah, definitely, because you don't want to get into a trade in a coin when the overall market's going down, because most coins follow the market, the overall market.
Right. So, hey, if you guys are new, don't worry about this. You know, like if you come in the group, you won't see this right away. Hey.
Yep.
Hey, we have a simple chart that uses like a cloud.
Yeah. Yep. Just the cloud right here.
All right. So how do those lines get drawn automatically on that chart? It was you just took it off. That was a good thing.
Yeah. These.
Nah, he had some lines, but I mean, you took the trend lines off.
Oh, yeah, that.
Right.
Yeah, I drew that on there.
All right. So what does that tell you though? Because right now you're in the cloud, and people, they probably never seen the cloud before, but I kind of want to show people, like, you know, when we trade, we can talk about all the different trading strategies. Even though we use the alligator,
yeah,
you know, you have to know what everybody else is trading. You kind of have to know, like, you know, trading is just not one dimensional. You know, you want to at least know so you can see what other guys are looking at. In the cloud is something that, you know, people, ICMO cloud, they look at it in the stock market, look at it in Forex, and that cloud is something people trade off of.
Yeah, definitely.
So
what I started with.
Oh, go ahead. I'll let you go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, so when you're pretty much like when you're in the cloud, it's kind of indecisive. You don't know which way it's going to go. So it's more of a, you know, wait and see which way it's going to come out of the cloud. The lines I drew were for just it's kind of almost a symmetrical triangle, and usually it'll ping pong, you know, off the lines here as you see until eventually you have a breakout. And sometimes you'll have a breakout and then a retest line, and then it makes a move up or move down.
Right. So let me give these guys a tip that's on the line watching this right now. So look at the last candlestick.
This one?
Yeah. Or not the green one.
This one, yeah.
Look at the volume there. Go all the way down. Right?
Yeah, right.
Look, all right, so that big red candlestick next to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you look to the left, you know, that's the biggest candlestick it's been in a while. And when it stopped right there, it took a little bit of green to stop it. So that tells me that if buyers come in at that point, it's going to reverse.
Yeah.
Because it didn't take a lot for the buyers to stop it. The sellers are exhausted.
Yeah. So if we see a bigger green push up here throughout for the next day, then like you're saying, it'll be
Right. So we have like probably one more day if of sellers trying to push it down. They don't push it down lower than 96. Then what you're going to see is this little zone that you have drawn out, breaks over 10.5, then it's probably going to continue to run like a lot higher, because that means it broke out of the cloud. So right now 10.4 is the resistance. Just looking at this chart, and this will, people need to learn like we don't need the chart to trade, but if you're going to look at them, you got to know what to look at on this chart. You at least know what to look at. And so that's what you want to learn. And so when you do look at a chart, you can see things will jump out what to look at. So right now I said, look at the volume and look at where the candlestick stopped. And, from that point, if it's going to test that trend line, and that trend line is around 10.4, if it breaks it, it'll continue to go. If it doesn't, then it's going to stay in that trend, and then it's under that cloud. And that cloud is a range. The bottom of the cloud is support. The top of the cloud is resistance.
Yeah. Yep. And that's about where the red line for the cloud comes to.
So whoever stayed on and watched this long, I wanted to make sure we gave you something to value.
Right.
Yeah. All right. That's awesome, man.
Awesome.
So so it's good. So everybody is joined. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us on a Monday night. Some people was watching football tonight.
Right.
Us, we were in the charts.
Right.
Talking crypto.
And Deshaun and I usually have this this mindset psychology type of call every Monday. We try to discuss different things that affect psychology and the mindset of a trader, crypto and stocks. So hope you guys tune in.
Right.
Now they got to meet the whole team. That was awesome.
Right.
Yeah, you got to meet. We still got some people that didn't join us on the team, but the special people.
You do.
All right, everybody's great though, man. I thank you guys all for your time tonight.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate the info.
All right.
I
All
guess
right, cool guys. Post up and let us know. Enjoyed it, and then we may do more of these if people found some value out of it.
Right.
Right. And the guys that's in our group, we have a mastermind call in the morning at 9 o'clock. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Most definitely.
All right.
All right.
All right. Peace out.
Have a good one.